Hey guys, as you know, I've always had a steel canopy on the back of my car. Now I have the heavy suspension that Old Man Emu make, as well as airbags to try and counter all that weight I have in the rear end, but it still sags a little bit no matter what I do. I don't want to put too much pressure in the airbags because I don't want to put all the weight right in the middle of the suspension. I want to even it out between the leaves, so I keep a lot of the weight back here. So what I've done, I've gone and got this Load Plus from Ironman. It's one extra leaf, it's a helper leaf. It's hopefully going to help raise my rear end and also stop the sway, because I have a lot of sway in my car, by 40%. So we'll see how it goes. I'll measure it before and after, see how much it raises my car, and also how much sway we have later on. We'll go out and check it out. So we'll start by measuring the canopy here to the ground, and we have around 755. We'll do these springs and then see how much it actually raised it by. It's pretty simple to do. Now I'm honest, I'm not a mechanic, I'm not an expert on suspension, but they've given you a full detailed instructions and there's not many parts to it. Anyone could do it, just take the steps. Make sure you jack up your chassis and not under the diff. You want the full weight dropped on the suspension, so you want no stress on the suspension before you install it. You get your two little leaves, I'll show you where they go in a minute. Your U-bolts, you get your long and your short, two different sets of plates, and your nuts and washers. That's all there is to it. As you can see, it sits behind your leaf here on top. I just had to remove the bolt and spacer between here, so it'll sit in here. Now, one of the U-bolts will sit straight across here, and the other U-bolt straight in here. It's that simple. Now, if you've got brake lines that are close to your U-bolts and everything here, they give you two different brackets, your wide one or your narrow one. I have to go the narrow one, otherwise I'll hit my brake lines. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to go because I've already got such heavy suspension. The U-bolt they've supplied isn't really long enough. You're supposed to be able to fit that nut and then a second locking nut on top of that to lock it in place. Now, I haven't done this up yet, it's only hand tight, but I don't think I'm going to get that second nut on. We'll see how we go. Now, I've done that first nut and washer up to 40 Newton meters like the instructions said. Now, I just had enough thread left to get a second nut on, so that's on now. So now we get my 19 3/4 spanner, like one nut, the other on the other nut, and just tighten that as tight as you can get it, just to lock it in place. Now, the instructions state you only have to go down 10 mil from the top for up to 400 kilos. But anything above 400 kilos constant load, you can go another 40 mil. But of course, the rules don't apply to my suspension because I've got aftermarket suspension, so I had to go down a lot lower before it even bottomed out. So I've gone down quite a long way. I've still got a little bit of thread at the bottom there, but that's about as far as I want to go now. I want to test it out at that first. Another reason I had to go a lot lower too, to be able to get this pin back in, I had to go right down to be able to get that pin back through. Now that it's on the ground, I've been waiting for this. Let's see what difference. It was 755 before to the ground, and now we're sitting at 790. So it has raised it. I'm happy with that. That's all I was expecting. Once you've got it on the ground, the suspension settles, so it's a good chance to go back and recheck all those nuts again, make sure they're nice and tight. And also make sure nothing is obstructing it either. You're not hitting brake lines or anything else. I want to be 100% honest with you guys, as I am in all my videos, as you know. This was provided to me by my local Ironman dealer, Riverland 4x4 and Outdoors. I originally went in there to inquire about pricing on a full suspension upgrade, but I can't really afford that at the moment. I'm running Old Man Emu at the moment, the heaviest they make, but it's probably 7 or 8 years old now, so it's due to be replaced. But I was tired of it sagging and I couldn't really afford a full suspension at the moment. So they suggested I try this out first as a more budget friendly option. It retails for about $150, $160, so it's very budget friendly. And it will help raise that rear end and stop that sway. And also when you're towing as well, it will also help raise that rear end. Now it's time to head back out and we'll see the before and after with the sway, see if there's any difference. It's worth noting I deflated the airbags too, so the airbags aren't providing any assistance. And I also run probably half unloaded in the back as well. So I do carry a lot more weight when I'm on adventures. Just by turning the wheel left to right, you can see how bad the sway really was on the car. That line shows you just how much of an angle my canopy's on every time I turn a corner. There's not a lot of difference between those two lines, but I'm going to keep testing it. If I need to tighten it more, I'll tighten it further, but I do carry a lot of weight, so we'll just see how it goes. In no way is this designed to replace a suspension upgrade or a GVM upgrade. This is only designed to be a helper leaf. It helps your existing springs. So it's going to take a little bit extra load. It's not going to take a full canopy, so see a suspension expert first, see what's right for you. But for me, it gave me peace of mind. I know I've already got heavy duty suspension, so I'm changing soon to a hardshell rooftop tent, which means I'm going to have even more weight on the back. One day I'd love to change to an alloy canopy, but I can't afford that at the moment. So I'm prepared now. I'm going to handle the extra load. So for me, it was worth it for me. If you've got any more questions, guys, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Happy to answer. If you found the video helpful, leave a like. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. I always do helpful videos like this to try and help you guys out. But thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!